Welcome to Long Beach Comic Con, day one. Woo woo! Ow! All right, you are at the GeekFest Filmmakers panel. I'm very excited. I tend to do all of them because I'm very big into supporting filmmakers and independent filmmakers at that. So I'm super excited. I watched all of y'all's projects, so good job. And before we get started, I just want to let you guys know we have a panel of 6 panelists. And I want to make sure that you all get a talk, and then I do open it up to the audience because I know with the way Hollywood is right now, everyone's creating content, and so I want people to be able to ask questions. So with that being said, in no particular order, I would like to bring up to the stage, I am your moderator and host, Janeshia Adams-Ginyard. And so, yes, I've been with GeekFest forever, and we are celebrating 12 years, okay? Woo woo! Now, without further ado, in no particular order, I would like to bring up to the stage a DK Greenley representing Blur. Woo! Ruel Smith representing Angel Prime. Ow! I'm bringing up Tara Jayn representing In the Event Of. And if you get a chance, she's got Biscoff cookies, okay? I'm just letting y'all know. Next up, we have Kevin Barile representing Hit Girl. Woo! We're in here tight. Let me come over here. All right. Next we have Kirschman representing Scissor Sleepover. Woo woo! And last but not least, we have Mabie representing Another One Bites the Dust. Give it up for our filmmakers, y'all. Woo! Thank you. Now, did I miss anybody? Nope, because I'm that good. Okay. So I will share with the mics and stuff, and then you guys, because I have several questions for everyone. So first question is going to be for everyone. If you can just tell us a little bit about your project, maybe the log line and a couple other sentences. And we'll start that way with DK.
Oh, okay. I DK Greenley for Blur, writer, director, producer. It's about a traveling business manager who calls home using artificial intelligence, smart technology with dire consequences.
Hi, my name is Ruel Smith. I'm the director of Angel Prime and Alpha War Story. The writer, Chris Nordstrom, is sitting in the audience for Angel Prime. And Angel Prime is about a bunch of soldiers trapped behind enemy lines on a distant planet. And the captain is caught between a rock and a hard place in trying to save an unstable, the life of an unstable soldier, or risk the process of exposing the rest of the team. So it's caught between a rock and a hard place, value versus virtue, and no good deed goes unpunished. And think the visuals of Dune meets the war drama of Saving Private Ryan.
My name is Tara Jayn. I am a writer, actor, editor, and about every other hat you can think of for In the Event Of. It's very homegrown. In the Event Of is your most recent in-flight safety video covering every eventuality of a flight situation, including deserted islands, snakes on planes, etc.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kevin Barile. I'm the producer, director, and action designer for the movie Hit Girl, based on Marvel's character Hit Girl. A group of evil people come to claim back what's theirs, and Hit Girl gives them the business.
Hi, I'm Kirschman. I am a co-writer and co-editor and director of Scissor Sleepover, which is a girls' sleepover prank that goes horribly wrong, leading to bloody consequences.
That's it. Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Mabie. I am the writer and director of Another One Bites the Dust. It is about a woman stranded in the orbit of Io that decides to try bounty hunting for the first time, and hijinks ensue.
Love it. Heck yeah. I love it. Our panel.
Where's Gary?
Gary is not here right now. He's having some car problems. Yeah, but I'll let him know you called him out. Yeah, I'll be sure to tell him. So I love that this panel consists of some action, sci-fi, there's comedy. In you guys' filmmaking process, what did you find to be your biggest struggle or the biggest obstacle that you had to overcome throughout the filmmaking process? And anyone can start, but I would like everyone to answer because you guys all have projects that are so different.
Want to start that way?
Sure.
Oh, I was hoping we were going to start the other way. I guess it's only fair. What was the hardest part of the process?
Yeah.
For
The
this,
one that gave you the most problems.
sure. For this project in particular, it was we had one VFX artist that did all of the VFX, and as you saw, there are like, I think 106 VFX shots. So that was the hardest part of the process. It was just like, I helped him out a little bit here and there, but honestly, he just, one man can only do so much. And so it just took a while to get the VFX shots done. But that was the hardest part. Honestly, it's the most fun project I've ever been a part of. Besides that, everything went kind of smoothly. So, yeah.
That's what's up.
For Scissor Sleepover, it was time. Like, I feel like that's probably a common thing across independent films or any films. Because there's visual effects of one of the characters gets stabbed in the eye with scissor, spoiler. And so we lost our lead actor for, I would say, like 4 to 6 hours for 3 days of shooting. And so you're just like scrambling to get everything you need while you've got the props and everything. But time, always need more time.
Always time.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, for people that's out there, to speak on what both of them said, time and one person doing 25 jobs, right? When you're doing with independent filmmaking or like short films sometimes, you don't have the amount of people that you need that has the description of the jobs that they're doing. It's one person doing 10 jobs.
Yeah.
For Hit Girl, my lead actress was 12. and we did 6 nights in Fraser Park. It was about 27 degrees. And we did overnight shoots. So we started about 7 p.m. and went till like 7 in the morning. So that was probably the hardest part is her being able to keep up with all the stuff I had her do. I asked way too much of her. But she killed it. She did like 90 to 95% of her own action.
Wow.
I think with this one, it was not letting the project get too big for itself. Nellie and I make a lot of short films. We make a lot of sketches. We're currently working on our first feature film. And so often when we start bringing in other team members, the project gets big real fast and with a lot of money, more complicated, and that's great and amazing and wonderful. But sometimes your project doesn't need all of that. We debated filming on an actual plane set, and we scrapped that. We're like, no, let's keep this simple. And you think green screen's gonna be so easy? It's not. Like, you gotta really know what you're doing with green screen. It's a blessing and a curse at times. There's some flaws that I see that I hate. But like, we intentionally kept it tight, and that was hard and challenging to like not go nuts because we can. We kept it tight, and because we did that, we were able to turn it around very quickly and get it out there very quickly and satisfy the comedy that was like timely. Accidentally timely, actually.
That's awesome. In the rare occasion, visual effects was the easiest of the hard for Chris and I because we come from visual effects. Mm-hmm. We actually worked together at a company called Digital Domain, and we met at literally the lunch table, and he presented the script. And I was an animator at the time, and he's a CG lighting artist, and a modeler, and a generalist, and a guru. And so the visual effects was the easiest of the hard. Wow. The hard part was we actually shot this on location in Trona Pinnacles in the Mojave Desert in the middle of the pandemic lockdown. So, if you think Gilroy, the name of the town, which is 3 hours away from LA, and then the dirt road is 45 minutes from that, and then another 30 minutes into the Mojave Desert where you lose, cell phone signal. So you had to use everything that you brought, including people. And I remember I think we shot, I want to say the end of October 2021. Wow. Either 2021 or 2022. I think it might have been 2022, but no, it was 2021. We wanted to shoot the last not hot day before the summer hit, and then a polar vortex hit. And it went from 90 to 120. And it was one of those things our AD at the time said, she can't do this at this time because if someone gets dehydrated or whatever, if you don't have a helicopter, they're dead.
Yes.
Like if you don't have a helicopter coming, and if you are thirsty, it's too late.
Yes.
Right? And so we postponed it till later on, but just being out there, we got stuck out there. Our campgrounds got taken over.
Wow.
Because it's all different campgrounds. And once you get into the spires, there are multiple satellite spires. So we were shooting on different aspects. And so getting everyone out there in the middle of the pandemic, a crew of 20, and you only had, whatever you had, that's all you had, no cell phone signal.
And you didn't factor in the helicopter in the budget.
We intentionally did not factor in the helicopter in the budget. So yeah, I would say that was, and then as far as the visual effects, if you notice her goggles, you could probably see on it in her goggles, yes. Well, the difference between just tilting it down an inch lower versus a higher is we caught the entire crew in her goggles, and we had to replace the reflection in her goggles and put it with an empty, and so that was like 50 shots. So we had 110 visual effects shots, and 50 of it was just because I didn't angle her goggles high enough, just an inch higher.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think the most difficult thing was just in February 2021 was coordinating over the COVID pandemic. There was no inoculation then, so just trying to keep everyone safe on set, I think, was the most difficult. As well as, secondly, the stunt coordination for the stairfall. Had a great stunt coordinator, Eric Von Arsdale, so that really helped to get that done, and that was the first stunt I ever directed, as well as for my cinematographer. She had never done a stunt before. So.
Cool. Wow. This is awesome. Yeah, and I know Eric. Yeah, shout out to Eric. So I've watched all of your projects, all of you guys' projects, and they all vary in lengths, which is great, and I think all of them had really good flows. There were some projects I watched that I didn't feel that way, but not anyone on this panel. Promise you, not anyone on this panel. But I was like, oh my God. And I got a little case of the tism too, so I was like, wait, what's going on? But if anyone else is out there like me, I feel like I'm so focused now on duration and time length of projects because you go to the movies and they're extremely long. And I'm looking at the length of time versus who's in it and the trailer. So my question to you guys is, how did you choose your time duration for your project? Or did it just happen naturally? Or did you already say, hey, I want to do this project, I want it to be 15 minutes or less? How did that work?
I think it just went off of the script that I wrote, like it was about 10 pages and it ended up being 9 minutes and 31 seconds. So it kind of came out perfect, in my opinion.
I think it's a little bit of both. This is probably, I think it's my third or fourth short. Okay. And so I knew I did not want to be over 12 minutes. You're in bad company as a short unless your short is perfect. And amazing because at film festivals, you're taking up 2 slots over 12 minutes. So like the sweet spot is 7 to 11, 7 to 12. But I think I like to write like dramas. So even in a sci-fi, there's like a dramatic element and those can end up running a little bit longer than what's on, the amount of pages you have. And so I think when we did the first edit, I think it was like 19 minutes, like we were making Dune or something. And so, but I knew I wanted to get it down, but I think it organically also got there. Like we needed to hit the beats, and just to keep people active because we're still kind of indie / young in our career filmmakers. So you don't get the Christopher Nolan, or the Coen brothers, like long opening before you get to the meat of the stuff. And so for me, that was very important, and to keep the audience engaged, because I don't have the luxury yet of a well-known director or filmmaker.
I think with ours, it's like, how long can you beat a dead horse until it's really dead? I'm comedy, so in comedy, I may be the only one up here. We feel, Natalie and I, you got to earn every second that you're taking someone's attention, because your attention is the most valuable thing there is. And so we feel that we have to earn every moment of your attention. We cut as much air as we can, we kill as many babies as we can, and then we kill some more babies. And it starts in the writing, and I think you're right. There's a sweet spot when it comes to making shorts. There's like a 7 and a 15, like that's where you're at. You start to get in that 20, you better earn that. You better earn every moment of that. And so for us, it's like, how fast can we do this? And either really earn the long pauses that we take, or also never take for granted your precious attention. Like, that's where we're at.
Yeah, my movie's about 25 minutes long. I wasn't sure.
Oh my God.
It's okay.
I bet it's amazing.
It's okay. Yeah. But not at all. I had no idea how long it was gonna be. The rough draft was actually like 30 something, and yeah, totally. Oh yeah, because it's also because like half of the movie is like their fight scenes. So most people at a certain point get tired of watching the fights and the actions. I don't suffer from that thing, so I could just watch action and action the whole time. So people had to tell me, Kev, you gotta cut that shit down, bro. And my good buddy Robert Dill, who plays the bad guy, the tax man in the movie, it ended up being a lot longer because I just kind of gave him the freedom to do whatever he thought was right in the moment. So I just let him milk those scenes quite a bit, and I actually had to cut a lot of him, but he's really good at taking his time for his comedy delivery. And that whole monologue he has in the kitchen before the final fight, none of that was written. He did all that himself.
Improv.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he wrote it down on like a little piece of paper beforehand. He said, Kev, can I try something? I said, sure. Yeah.
For us, the intention was to make something short, like, because I echo what Tara was saying of like, you want to earn like every second of someone's attention. Hit Girl absolutely does that. So, don't. Yeah, I'm like, don't feel insecure about the time. I think you earned every second of that. But yeah, well, and to that point, it's like, how much time do you need to tell the story you're trying to tell? And that depends on the story you're trying to tell. Mine is a horror with comedy, definitely influences and moments, and yeah, you don't want anyone to get ahead of it. So it's like trying to make sure you can always just be like one step ahead of what they're thinking, and so you kind of got to go fast.
So my film also sits at 22 minutes.
So I saw yours though. It was fun. I was laughing.
And here's the thing. I think I was also the only one in the audience sitting watching and go, well, I'm going to cut that out before the next festival.
No.
So.
Editing like in real time.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, like everybody else, I just wrote a story, and it just happened to be that long. And I am very proud of it, but I'm only half kidding about editing it before the next festival. So I think that the length varies, and you just find the sweet spot as you watch it a million times with different audiences.
Yeah, audiences are always going to make things feel different.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
The feedback of if you're waiting for the reaction or the thing that you were shooting, and you're like, okay, are they gonna laugh at this point? Are they gonna get it? Do they understand? So yeah, the feedback is really is cool. You brought up something, Kevin, that I wanted to talk about was collaboration. So you said your lead actor kind of like, hey, can I try something? And he wrote it down. How was collaborating with whether it was your costume, your wardrobe, like how did the casting work? Because a lot of you guys all of you guys' films actually, the leads, they were so good. Right? But you had to cast them, or unless they were, I don't know, were they your cousins? Like I want 2 questions. The casting process, and then I'll go back down, and then I want to talk about the collaboration, because a lot of you guys had costumes that were outside of a t-shirt, you know what I'm saying? It was more defined, so yeah.
So I'll start this time because this was my favorite part of the process. This is the first film where I did there were words on a page, obviously, but it was the first time that I was like, okay, let's get in, we would call it like finding the funny. So it's like, how do we take the words that are on the page and run them back and forth, blocked, so that we like found the best version of what those words were, and it was so fun. Most of the people in the short were my friends, besides the lead. She came at the suggestion of another friend of mine, and when we got it and we just started blocking it and walking everything together, it was like, oh, this is fun. And like, that was the best part of the process, is the collaboration. It really was the truest form of collaboration of like, how about I say it like this? Yes, that's awesome. And then that dynamic changes what everybody else is doing, and like giving I mean, listen, actors are amazing what they do. Like, why should, like, when I was younger, I used to try to storyboard and be very particular about like, no, stand here and do that. Even though, like, I'm not Kubrick. Like, you're not my meat puppet. Like, do what you do best, right? And so it was awesome. The collaboration was the best part of the process.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part of making movies in general, is like, it's one of the most collaborative arts that exist. And I highly recommend having talented friends. My lead is literally my best friend since high school.
Wow.
And she is a very good actor. And then everyone else are friends I've accrued like at different points in my life that are all actors. And when I was writing this with my partner, we were just like, who do we have that can do these things? And like, you just really lucked out. Yeah, and everyone like on set, I really tried to create an environment where anyone could say anything ever. Like, anyone could have an idea. It didn't matter where it was coming from, because I've been on sets where that is not the case.
Yes.
And like, this is the first thing I've ever directed, and it really made me realize how much a director sets a tone. And when you've been with people who are like, I'm the director, everyone feels that, and you don't feel as respected. And I was like, I'm never doing that.
Yes, yeah.
I'm gonna listen to everybody, and some ideas are not good, but they can still all like, they all contribute, you know?
Yeah.
It's very cool. We're lucky.
Yeah, I want to add to what Nee was saying, because there are so many sets you're on. A lot of big budgets are, they don't really welcome that extra collaboration, the intimacy that you might have on an independent film, on a short film. And so, I think you guys are speaking to the whole intimate process and being open to collaborating with the different departments, with your actors, and hey, can I say this? And yeah, try it out. Because there are the other end of the spectrum is where they just want you to read the lines, because if you're not, you're disrespecting the writers, and then you don't feel so much of a team, and I think we've all been in that situation at some point on a project. So, yeah, shout out to y'all.
Casting and collaboration. So I teach martial arts and film fighting in LA. And I had a student, her name was Angie, and she was 11 when she started with me. And she was an actress and interested in doing an action movie. And her father had recently bought a house in Fraser Park. And I was like, this is a good opportunity to bring up a film for her. And it turned into a much bigger thing than I thought. I've always wanted to make a hit girl movie, but that was my student who I cast. She was 12 years old in the movie. Everyone else, every other character was populated with my friends, just like Josh. So Josh is a really talented action filmmaker as well. I respect his work a lot. He and I run in the same circle, and our stunt community is small, big but small. So when I watched his movie, I recognized almost everyone in his movie in probably the same way, in reverse. And our friends are just like really funny, cool guys, and they'll come out to help you out. And when it's their turn to make a movie, we come out and help them. And as far as collaboration goes, mostly it was the collaboration in action. I have an idea of what I've designed and how I want it to look, and then everyone's going to have a small idea about how to make it better or tighter or different. And then when it comes to the stunts as well, someone's got to step up and do those. And I have a couple friends. I'll shout out my buddy Alan that fell off the roof. We did that for real, and Alan's the kind of guy who's just gonna, he bugs me. He texts me today because he wants to do something else crazy. I gotta slow him down, but like, you gotta chill out.
Car hit.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if I feel comfortable filming that. But it's, like Josh said, it's a really cool experience when you get to collaborate with people that you like and hang out with otherwise.
Casting, I had an amazing actress. She came really cheap. It was me. That's the joke, guys. It's me. I'm so cheap and good. Collaboratively, Natalie and I have been working together for years at this point, and we actually met doing an all-female Monty Python sketch group. We were cast doing the Dead Parrot sketch, and we've been doing Dead Parrot ever since. And at this point, our collaborative relationship is really good and fun. This is one of those fun ones because we just sat down and like, how many airplane movies can we reference in a single short? Like, how far can we go with these jokes? Every single one. And if you don't get one, come up to me and ask me, and I'll tell you what you're missing. And I promise you, we didn't leave out a single one. But it was just fun to like yes and. And like when you start to build these collaborative relationships that stretch decades, and I just aged myself, you start to like have this really quick, fun lexicon together. You can reference back to something from 10 years ago, bring it back, and it speaks to circling back with the same people over and over again. And there's a reason why people cast and hire the same people over and over again. It's because you build that relationship, and it's so much fun. And you're right, this is the only art form that's truly collaborative, and being open to collaborating is the best part about it. So it's fun.
So I'll speak first on casting. It was self-tapes. We went to one of the online services, and we got 200 submissions for each character, for each of the 3 roles.
Wow.
And I had to narrow it down to 20 each, and then I shared it with the key, like, Chris, writer story, our producer, our EPs, and then wanted to make it a unanimous. So each person that you see on screen earned their roster spot from, I didn't know any of them. We didn't know any of them, and they earned their roster spot from 200 submissions. I knew I wanted, when I first agreed with Chris to direct his short, his writing, I wanted a woman of color. I was hoping for a woman of color, but I knew, it had to, like, I couldn't force it. Yeah. And so there was that. Like, I just thought, like, you don't see a lot of women of color as leads in the sci-fi films. And there's something that needed to happen where someone had to deliver the intimacy of the drama, but also had to be the captain of these 2 dudes, right? And be able to stand and hold her own. And Kennedy delivered. I remember, an interesting fact, the original name of the title of the film was Captain's Call, A Captain's Call. And I remember, like, I'm in, like, the 100th and 11th tape I'm listening to. And I'm at that point, like, you're kind of, like, listening while you're doing something else. And I remember hearing Kennedy say, "This is Angel Prime." And I was like, wait, what? Yo. And how she said it. Yeah. And I just kind of stored that in the back of my mind as, like, oh, man, like, Angel Prime, the word was not a thing in this film. Like, it wasn't a major thing. It wasn't even, like, the 3rd, 4th, or 5th thing. And it wasn't until we were near the end of visual effects when I came to Chris about the idea of, like, could we rename the film to Angel Prime? Because this is a throwaway character from a bigger series and the story of this, and she just brought so much to the character that people were, like, kind of upset that there's this cliffhanger of her dying or not dying. Yes. So as far as, like, casting, it was everyone earned their roster spot. Collaboration for me this is my 4th short. I've also tried to attempt to make my first feature before. This is Chris's first short being made, where we're both obviously indie producers and the person behind it. So I wanted to come in the event that I got a big movie opportunity, all of my shorts I wrote and directed. And I wore all the hats, right? Yeah. And I wanted to see what it was like to come into someone else's world and leave your style on it, but you're also keeping their things that works for them. And so that's what this collaboration piece was. And I think for me, it's, as the director, you kind of inspire the universe, not just a story, but like the filmmaking process. And then you let everyone take it and elevate it for their thing. So like you try to inspire their cubbyhole for them to like take it to another level, whether it's the editor, the cinematographer, wardrobe, the actors, and so forth. And I've always tried to use that because this, if you leave the door open, you know, a little bit of like randomness comes in and kind of takes a project to another level.
Wow. Okay, so Shane, like a fact. So I watched all of their projects and I noticed people and I'm like recognizing. I'm like, oh, I know them, I know them. So I was watching Angel Prime and the whole time I'm like, why do I know this girl? I'm like staring. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh man. And I'm like, I'm just gonna wait till the credits and I'm watching. Come to find out, she's my sister-in-law's niece.
Which I found out last night as well, when you commented on the thing.
The whole time I'm like, why do I know this girl? But yeah.
And another fun fact is, which I learned last night, we both worked on the first Black Panther. You worked on both. Were you on both?
Yes.
So we worked on Black Panther, and when I looked at your page, I was like, wait, what? You were in Black Panther as well?
Yeah. So it was just crazy. But I watched, you watch projects and you're like, oh my God, I recognize that person. Yeah. Sorry. So I
Super small world.
Small world, you guys.
Oh, regarding casting, I actually used Bass Casting because I wanted to find a prolific TV actress, and they sent my script over to Brianna Cuoco, who was just coming off of the flight attendant. So she liked the script and attached to it, and it was great. I just had a great time. And as for collaboration, if I didn't know something, like for some of my keys, they were very, very helpful. Like, as I say, for the stunt stairfall, I'd never directed it before. I'd done driving stunts myself for NCIS Los Angeles. But yeah, they were very helpful and willing, and we still speak with each other, and I'd like to work on another project with them again. So.
I was gonna say, are you gonna ask him a follow-up question on that one?
No.
Is there sorry.
Yeah.
Was there a long process between sending your script over to getting the actress attached?
Just as however long it took for them to the casting director send it to the agents, and the agents to send it to the actor to read, so it was like maybe a day.
Gotcha. Nice. That's amazing.
Pretty fast.
That's unique.
Yeah, just like a day. I mean,
That's unique.
it was a COVID pandemic, so I think people were just at home all the time, so they were probably just like, they were probably,
That's good, that's great.
they're just probably like super bored and like really want to read something.
I have a thing where one of my secret things I always tell people: become best friends with casting directors.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because they've given like every major actor owes a favor to a casting director.
Yeah.
And so if you make best friends with casting directors, they can, obviously your script has to be good, but pandemic also helps.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
absolutely.
That's amazing.
It's a cheap believer.
For those of you that had stunts on your projects, right? Because there was some driving, there was a lot of fighting.
Kevin and Mike.
Yeah, there was a lot of fighting. How did you manage to navigate with the stunts and your budget? Because in so many projects, stunts are the first thing to go when the budget starts you start running out of money.
Mine, that was what went to go
So
in our project.
how did you, because you guys are very like stunt heavy, but how did you navigate that? For inquiring minds want to know.
Just like you make friends with casting directors, make friends with stunt people. But real talk, like Kevin said, both him and I, we're stunt performers first. Like, I do, besides stunt performer, fight coordinator, and so as a fight coordinator, half the job is knowing the people that do stunts and knowing who to pull in for what things. The people in our networks, they just love making projects, and like you find the people that love making things, and then when you find people that are good at what they do, a lot of times they'll do it for either reduced rates or free. And when
IMDb
that's
credit, y'all. Make sure y'all give people IMDb credit.
yes, and deferred pay with shorts means no one ever gets paid. But yeah, that's the short story of how you get stunts in your film is. Know somebody who the other part is like if you like say you want stunts, call Kevin, call me, and then like we have friends like that call a stunt coordinator that can get favors.
Yes.
Because while we won't be able to get it for free, we can get it for a lower rate than what you do if you tried to do it through like proper channels.
Yes.
And
some people, we love our footage. If we're like, can we get our footage? Can I put it in my reel? Promise them good footage, good cuts. Yeah.
Footage is king, absolutely.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's the long and the short of it. Any other thoughts, Kevin?
Yeah, he nailed it. Like, so basically, if my buddy's shooting something in the afternoon in Valley Village, like, we're just showing up for free. It's like, no question. But, like, usually we'll trade those days where I come to yours, you come to mine, and we help each other out. But since mine was in Fraser Park, I was going to have my friends drive to Fraser Park and, like, fall off a roof and not pay them something. So, like, we found the budget to make that happen. Like you said, at least a reduced rate or something that makes sense for them. And the footage is, really important and key for sure. But yeah, it's not getting cut in my movies. No. I'll cut lights first.
Lights first. Yeah, footage is currency for stunts. Yeah. Anyone else want to add? No? BK, you want to?
I guess I was saying, like, that was I know I went to your panel earlier this morning. You're talking about how the stunts are done, like, toward the end of the day. But for my production, yeah, it's like, but for mine, we did it first because that's something I'd been on set before, and I noticed they do that. Like, at the end, they make you do the stunts, like, toward the end of the day. I was like, I want to do that first to get it out of the way, and everyone can go home. And, it's a thing you have to coordinate the most, in my opinion. So, but yeah, I always get the budget for stunts, and, like, I don't want to leave that out. If I'm going to do a stunt, I want to make sure I got the money for it.
Sweet. I like that. I need you to email everybody in Hollywood and tell them stunts first. Yeah, stunts first. But so anyone's project, a small snippet of like a bigger or a feature? Any plans with the projects right now? I mean, I know the answer to some of y'all, but this is for them. Yes.
You want to know anything that we're up to?
Well, the current project, like
current
for
project,
you,
it's connected, yeah.
the project that you're on right now that you've worked on, that you did, is there vision or a plan for it to be a feature?
Yes. Yeah, so Blur was my introduction to what I call, like, the Humecverse. I have a feature film that I've written a script for, as well as working on a graphic novel. So then also another script based on E.M. Forster's novella, The Machine Stops. So that's something I'd like to actually introduce to Los Angeles Comic-Con, to introduce the graphic novel cover design in a month from now.
So the full title for Angel Prime is Angel Prime: An Alpha Wars Story, and it's a beautiful universe that Chris Nordstrom wrote. It's an Alpha Wars story, so that's the big box, scripts, multiple scripts, blockbuster scripts that he wrote. And when we wanted to do Angel Prime, we wanted to take a side mission and a character from a side mission that happened within the timeline of the film. And so, but this at the beginning was supposed to just be a throwaway that kind of tipped the hat to Alpha Wars. And then as we finished it, we fell in love with the Angel Prime character, and we kind of fleshed out Angel Prime. So I think now there is the grounded story sci-fi of Angel Prime, which Angel Prime is like saying Commander-in-Chief. It's the very first captain of that scout team. And so we have a grounded sci-fi idea and a script for that, and then there is the blockbuster, bigger for Alpha Wars story that Chris has written.
That sounds like money and a budget. Anyone else?
Yeah, we're working on the screenplay right now for a Scissor Sleepover feature, planning on shooting end of next year.
Nice.
And have a little bit of money, but more. Need more money. So look out for that.
For sure.
Awesome.
No plans for a feature.
More stunts.
More stunts. Okay, so is there any genre that you would like to direct or work on that you haven't touched? Like, I know yours is horror, so like, would you want to do, I don't know, action, or is there another genre that you guys have that you would like to be working with on?
I guess I'd like to do a comedy and maybe horror, or maybe a horror comedy. I think that'd be my next project after I do this dystopian sci-fi.
Ironically, for me, it sounds weird. Animation even though I come from animation.
Yeah.
I was an animator for a really long time, but I understand how long it takes to do animation, how expensive, so I've stayed away from it. And also I did that as a day job, so it's the last thing to moonlight as an animator, do an animation project. But there is a potential idea where I want to take up a more adult black conscious, black culture, a concept between Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, but in animation. So that's the space that I would love
Like
to
if Martin and Malcolm had a baby.
Maybe not a baby, but I feel like that's what the last 50 years was. We are the baby of Martin and Malcolm. But no, yeah, I want to bring more adult themes and stories and concepts to animation, because we've all grown up, right? But animation, for the most part, within the Western world, has not taken on more adult, serious topics. So I think that's a space that I would love to explore.
As an actor, I love to do sci-fi. I never get asked to do sci-fi. It's usually comedy. Look at this face. It's funny. As a director, one of these days I really want to direct a horror film, like specifically a ghost story. It's my favorite genre, and that's the only thing I would ever really think of being a director on. As a producer, I'm really wanting to niche down into rom-coms. I love rom-coms. I've got strong opinions about rom-coms. I'd love to make some good rom-coms. You know, kind of, like go back to the 90s a little bit, but like not bad people. Yeah. So.
I need to hear all your strong opinions about rom-coms.
When I did 6 seasons at Universal Studios as a scare performer for Horror Nights, and so I've always had a really, especially during that time, I grew a really big fondness for horror movies. It's like the fan base for horror is like such a unique group, and it's a really special genre. So I have since written a feature that we're currently trying to develop. Starts as a horror movie, but then it turns into an action movie.
And on location at Horror Nights, what is it? Amazing, right?
That would be so good.
That would be dope.
Came to my mind.
I want credit.
Yeah. There's something cool about getting to work at like the Psycho House and like it's around the back lot in general. Like, that's where it was. It's a cool thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that drew me to horror is that it is like one of the only genres that is every other genre as well. Like you get to, I have, my background is from comedy, and I used to write things where people would be like, you can't do that. And I'm like, why can't I do that? Why can't I kill this person? I think it's funny. I think it's super funny. And they're like, it's not funny. And then it turns out it is funny in horror.
Yes.
Like it's the weirdest thing where it's like the horror, horror and comedy exist in the same world. They exist on surprise. Like that's what you're trying to get the audience to. That is the base emotion, right? Whether it's you scared them, you surprised them and they got scared, or you surprised them and they laugh. Like, but then on top of it, there's like I would love to have a budget to actually put some real action and in a horror film like that exists. The stunts in horror films are crazy. Yeah. The visual effects, like the artistry of so much horror. So I think you get to play in like every world. Mm-hmm. Obviously, like I'll take any job you throw at me. So I'll work in any genre. Yeah. Like I'm a puppeteer as well. So like I have done like kids stuff is my other background is kids and then killing people in horror. So yeah, and then one day, but you got to really build to that. You got to have the Christopher Nolan credit before you can kill a kid. But we're working on it.
Black Mirror. Or Black Mirror.
Or Black Mirror, yeah.
Or Black Mirror.
So yeah.
Yeah, no. She's so right about the stunts in horror films though. I've been a rag doll. Every time. I mean, I got my ass handed to me on so many horror films for stunts, so you are so right on that. Oh my gosh.
In terms of genre next, I don't know. I've done a lot of stuff. I want to do something weird, probably. I don't know. Either weird or completely normal.
Either or.
Because I kind of exist in between. Maybe a superhero thing, because that's kind of like past. And like I think reinvigorating that could be fun. Because it's over, you know what I mean? Like it's like Gen V and The Boys kind of. It's like what's it called when you're Yeah, exactly. You deconstruct the genre. That's where we are now. So what if we go back to reconstructing the genre? I don't know. I'm just saying words.
For it, yeah. So at this point, I want to take a couple questions for the audience. Anyone have any questions? Preguntas? Questions? Yes. Hi. I'm sure. You can come up.
I'll just say, it goes where I stand. Hi. No, just something for now. Hi, I just recently graduated from film school.
Congratulations.
So I want to get more into the industry and work on sets like you guys. So do you like have any general advice for how you can just get like more experience pretty much?
Where'd you go to film school?
I went to Loyola Marymount.
Oh, you're in town. Then, dude,
Oh, man.
leverage your network. Like that's you're in town. You went to a good film school. Just like, you said recently graduated?
Yeah.
Keep in touch with all of your friends, because they're going to be the ones that will get you jobs, and you're going to be the one that get them jobs. Especially, like I said, you are from town. You're going to be fine. But do exactly what you're doing right now. Show up to random film sets. Ask to help out. Ask to PA. PA is where all of it starts. What do you want to do?
I want to be an editor, but I mean, like you guys, I'm used to just like bouncing around.
Oh, nice. Stick around. My buddy's a very talented editor. I'll put you in contact with him.
Well, and get in there and make friends. Like what you're doing right now, coming to a festival and saying, hi, I exist, I want to do things. Do that. Like go to film festivals that you're not even in and just stay and make friends with people. Like most of my work these days has been coming from not auditions or like applying for work. It's because I knew somebody who knew somebody because I met them at a film festival. And they're like, hey, could you come help us with this thing? And it just grows. Those relationships just build. So like you're doing exactly the right thing right now.
You're in this industry, your peers technically kind of hire you for the most part. It's the word of mouth and all of that. But like everyone has said, you are doing the exact thing by asking, like, hey, I need a job. And I can edit. Yeah, your parents are co-signing. He needs a job, y'all. And you're talking to directors and people that are in the position to give you a job. So yes.
I'm curious. Do you know now if you want to do TV, commercials, or film?
I actually want to get more into non-scripted, so like documentary reality.
Oh, nice.
Although I love editing narrative. Like all my other friends are narrative people. I'm like the.
Oh yeah, come talk to me after the thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah, I would say it's there's the general, which is a good space.
That's what I do.
It's a good space. You need to get as much under your belt as possible,
Yeah,
as many
build those
experiences, and it's. I've always said it's who you know that gets you in the door, and what you know that keeps you in the door.
Boom.
And I think, but also with editing, there is the technical aspect of it and the journey. It's almost like you learn an instrument, whereas a lot of Hollywood and filmmaking could be subjective, where it's like fake it till you make it. You just show up at the right place. Where like edit, there's first chair, there's second chair. Like you have to work your way up. You have to eat crap. And like get your hours right. There's that still. I think within editing, there's that side of it is still very strong. And going to the union network stuff, Film Independent, join Film Independent, American Cinematheque, and go to those. Yeah. So Film Independent, join that. Go to their mixers, go to their filmmaker get-togethers. Film Independent, and then like American Cinematheque, like they have like a $100 thing, and then you can go to their Q&A screenings and stuff like that. And so editorial is still a very technical space where you have to put in your 1,000 hours, right? And you build your network, and you get recommended. Like you go from fourth chair to third chair to second chair to first chair. And the only difference is with narrative, no one gives up first chair, right? So you can get stuck in assistant editor land, right? And you have to go edit a film that goes to Sundance, right? Or one of the bigs. And then you get first chair. Then people start calling you around for first chair. So look at it from that technical aspect where you have to earn your chops and work for an editor, work under an editor or an assistant editor, and work your way up.
And while you're doing all of that, still be editing other shit you got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, this is a show me business.
Yeah.
You're saying, I'm an editor, I just graduated. Okay, what, do you got something you can show me? Oh, well, I don't know. Yeah, so be consistently working on editing stuff, whether it's whatever, edit something. you know? Yeah. Yeah, then you're hired. I told you, you're hired. Any other questions? Well, while y'all think about that, I would like for you, before I forget, to give out where people can reach you or contact you, whether it's your socials, your Facebook, Instagrams, TikToks, whatever. Yes, and where they can find your project.
They can find me on X at DK Greenley, also on YouTube, DK Greenley.
Find me as a creative on Ruel, like Film Ruel, REEL, and then Angel Prime Movie on Instagram.
Nice.
You can find me on Instagram, plain Tara Jayn. Also find us, Natalie and Tara. But I'm going to pimp out my podcast instead.
Pimp it out.
We have a podcast called We're Making a Movie, and it is following in the real-time adventure of Natalie and I making our very first feature film. So every question that you might have as a filmmaker trying to make your own short or feature film, we are interviewing people actively in that process. So we're deep in the finding money part. You know how hard that part is? Anywhere you find your podcast, you can find that.
My Instagram is toxic_action, toxic action. And my YouTube is kind of difficult to remember, but I have a QR code up here. Later, if you want to meet me, you can just scan it and get right to my YouTube.
I'm at Nihilism on Instagram and also Scissor Sleepover Film on Instagram.
Josh Mabie on Instagram, Mabie, and I have a YouTube channel called Rogue Origin Films.
Love it. Thank y'all. Okay, who has a question? Yes.
I was curious if any of you have worked maybe in a TV writer's room, and if you have any advice on getting into one of those.
Great question. If y'all didn't hear it in the back, it was, has anyone worked in the TV's writer's room and have any information or advice on that?
I've never worked in one, but a bunch of my friends have worked in one. A lot of my close friends. PA. Or writer's assistant. Right? PA probably gets you on a lot, depending on what show you want to be on, what type of show you want to be on. And yeah, writer's assistant, working your way up. And then I would say keep writing, and then I would say writing and then headhunt for a literary manager. That's, I've found, out of my friends that have, like, you know, gone on to doing, like, Insecure and a bunch of other shows, that's been the route, like a literary agent, a literary manager, and then, yeah, writer's assistant.
Here's an unpopular side note as well. A lot of what they're asking for these days, it's just unfortunately what's going on. They want pre-existing IP, and when they say that, they mean books. They're like, well, great, we hear your movie idea, but go write a book about it first, sell that, then we'll make your movie. So, like, while you're doing all the other hard work you're doing, write a book or a graphic novel or any other IP, like, just to keep working that muscle, because I feel, and these aren't real, this is feelings, but that's what I'm seeing happen, is that they're wanting that as well. Yeah, they just want to prove that a concept works. So show them a concept that works in another format.
Yeah.
What's your genre? What do you write?
Horror, sci-fi.
Oh, yeah.
Occasionally some drama.
What's your favorite show?
I can say I watch way too much TV.
So, while everything they said is correct, the best thing you can do is find your favorite shows and then reach out to the creators of those shows. Because the last thing you want to do is get on a show that is not what you want to be doing, and then all of a sudden you're writing comedy when you've been wanting to write horror. And yes, you said that was a bad genre choice. Bad genre choice. But you get my point, right? It's like you don't want to, yes, early on in your career, like, I'll take anything. Don't take anything. Like, be very strategic, be very pointed in where you're searching for and what you're searching for. And, like, again, pick your favorite shows, reach out to those creators. It'll be more successful than you think.
That was great. First of all, I just want to say thank you to all of our lovely filmmakers. They're absolutely amazing and talented. I want to have each one of you give one piece of advice, one sentence to leave with the audience, and then we'll wrap it up. But also, my plug is I'm available for all of y'all's projects. I love all y'all's work.
Nice.
And I do have a price, but I also do favors. But yeah, so we'll start with Nee, and then we'll go around that way. Yeah.
Wow. My advice is to drop the ego. And I don't mean, this is for myself, like this is the journey of like, it doesn't mean to not have faith in yourself and what you do and know what you know. But it means like, don't be afraid to hear someone else's critique. There was a long time, like early in my career, where I was working on stuff that I would never show people. I was so afraid of like what they would say. And then once I started to, because I mean, if you haven't seen Scissor Sleepover, it's about perfectionism. Like it's a girl who destroys her fucking self because she wants to be perfect. And I think that was the scariest thing, is like realizing you're not perfect and then realizing, holy shit, that's good though. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. Like let people tell you like, this is good, because I think what you find is like it's actually better than you think it is, but there's places to improve. Okay.
Love it. Thank you. Yeah, I love it.
For me, it's know when to shut the fuck up and listen. So you have to simultaneously, in my opinion, think you're the best in the world, but also you know nothing. So there's times where I'm thinking this is my time to speak and my time to take charge, and then there's times I have to sit down like I don't know anything and listen to the person in charge. In Hit Girl, if you saw it, there's a moment where someone gets cut on fire. That was me. That was my first time doing it, and that was a really important time to shut the fuck up and listen, to keep myself safe. You know, but that happens a lot in a lot of different areas, a lot of different departments on set. You know?
This is probably just coming out of where I'm at right now. The dream you're dreaming of is going to be kind of hard. And I don't mean it to scare you. I just mean prepare for not sleeping very much, crying a lot, doubting yourself late in the nights, and working all hours. Because anything that you dream to be your dream job, like the actualities of that is it's so much hard work. I literally got done doing an illustration job and was preparing to go do a music video, and I laid down on my living room floor and I cried. And I was like, is it always going to be this hard? And the truth is, like, the life I've been dreaming of is this hard. This industry is just a lot, but it's so fucking worth it. So, like, hang in there, even though it's tough. Know that it's worth it, but prepare yourself. It's gonna be tough, but worth it.
That's a great, just to, a little bit of piggyback off of what you said, because you said some poignant things. Are there aspiring filmmakers or filmmakers in the crowd? Curious? Okay, cool.
So many of you.
My second my second point will go towards that. First, I would say surround yourself, or my third point first of all, surround yourself with great collaborators. Chris Nordstrom, the mind of Alpha Wars and sci-fi. The reason why the film is in here in this festival because of Chris.
No, because I actually told him to submit it.
Yes, but he duly noted. But Chris is the Comic-Con guy. Like, he is the sci-fi Comic-Con. I am just renting space in his world. And so I think it's surround yourself with great collaborators, because it takes a village. Everyone knows that. Then I'll give my holistic advice. It's only choose, this is the season that I'm in right now, only choose hills you're willing to die on. And that's the season I'm in, because as you said, it's real, anything you decide to tackle is gonna be tough, and it's gonna take way more time than you thought it was gonna take. And this film, I think the journey from the idea of deciding to do the idea to finish was about 4 years to being on screen in festival, right? And the first half of the journey was just getting the film done. Then it's like marketing and getting it out to the world, right? And so I am now in the season of not committing to too many things, but honing in on the hills that I'm willing to die on, because it's all gonna be challenging, no matter what you choose. And then from a technical standpoint, a more tangible standpoint from a filmmaker, finishing the film is half the journey, right? Like that's just the intermission of the process. And I think what I wish I did, or going forward on my future projects, is bring in like the marketing, the PR, EP, the person that focuses on like festival submission and distribution and marketing, because think of it as like a relay race at the Olympics. Like you're handing the baton off and you somewhat need like fresh energy. Like imagine going through all you did, lighting yourself on fire, and then to get like turned down by like 8 festivals in a row, and you notice because you created a separate Vimeo link for each of them, and you notice they didn't even watch it at that festival, but you got, right? And so that knocks the cool out your walk, right? After going through that entire process and then getting like 4, denied or didn't make it, some, things. And I think, that might stop you from trying to get the next person to see it or submit to the next place. And we went through that, and I think if you're at the beginning, I think having fresh perspective and fresh energy that you can hand the baton off to, that they can kind of just like not remember the things you didn't get to put in the film, but the things that are in the film, and push that as the amazing part of this execution. So I think like bringing on EPs that they just run the last part of the leg, right, of getting your film out to the world.
They gotta be the anchor.
Yeah.
I would just say, like, especially in this industry, just don't give up on your dream. Sometimes it takes a long time to get where you need to be. And there's some projects I've been working on for 10 years, and Blur was probably the easiest one. I wrote the script, and within a year it was already made. But just don't give up.
And then last one.
In the immortal words of Chad Stahelski,
Oh, okay, go right ahead.
how you do anything is how you do everything.
Yes. Wow, and that's right there, boom.
Best advice.
Thank y'all so much for attending our filmmakers panel. Shout out to GeekFest, year 12. Shout out to all of our amazing filmmakers.